Welcome to the T-Bar DXB. My name is James. I'm here with my co-host.
My name's Yash, and we are here with our producer, the only one we could find because we can't afford him yet.
Well, I'm Jake anyway, the homeboy. Now, all right, man, we need you to kind of get your ass up and,
All
and do
right, fine.
this
I'll
thing.
get back to work. I'll get back to work. See you later, guys.
Back on production.
Right.
All right,
Go on.
man, so we're very excited to be here with you guys today. Thank you for tuning in, first and foremost. To the people that are with us from today, from day one, it's going to be one heck of a journey, and I think you're going to enjoy what's coming up.
For sure. We have a lot to
crazy,
we have a lot to talk about. Well, this is basically a hip hop and rap sort of series that we have started very recently, and we hope that it climbs to many levels. We'll just start off by introducing ourselves. James, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'm James. I'm 27 years old. I'm born and raised in the States, but I'm also a little bit Lebanese, as in my parents are Lebanese, so American Lebanese, and yeah.
I'm Yash. I'm 28 years old, and I'm Indian. That's it.
He's just Indian.
There's nothing more to it.
All right, now, a little bit more when it comes to getting to know us. Yash, I wanted to ask you, who is your favorite rapper?
Well, my favorite rapper is this man right here. His name is J. Cole. And he has the album of the year, as we've been having this argument since the past 3 months. Well, who's your favorite? I mean, I'm sure it's this guy right over here. That's quite sure.
Okay,
Right, splashing again. That means it's recorded, right?
Yeah, it is recording.
Cool.
okay. So then you could put some sort of cut in there.
Yeah, we'll sort that out.
Okay.
I'm going to put this in the edit, by the way, what you just said.
What?
You can put some sort of cut in there.
Yeah.
Just sounds funny.
That's very interesting, Yash, because I don't remember the first hip hop song I ever heard, but I do know that it was on that same album, the Eminem Show.
The Eminem Show.
And it's really funny because I was probably a grade or two under you since you were in 7th grade. I was maybe in 5th grade. I was in Washington State visiting my cousins, and my cousins had gotten a copy of the Eminem Show, a CD, and their parents didn't know. Shout out to Johnny and Marky, my cousins. Their parents didn't know that they had this CD, so what we would do is we'd sneak into the garage, we'd get into their mom's van, my auntie's van, and we'd listen to the Eminem Show track after track after track until they'd be looking for us, and that was that. First rap album I ever personally bought, my mom's had to buy it for me because I wasn't 18 yet. It was Country Grammar by Nelly. So, yeah, it's very interesting. But Eminem, I think for people our age, I mean, we're millennials, so Eminem seems to be one of the
Most influential rappers of our times.
He is, of course, one of the most influential and is a lot of the times the first rapper people listen to when they get into hip-hop. Now, another question for you, and this one could potentially be a little bit embarrassing. What is your best experience with hip-hop? Whether it be something that happened in your life or like the best rap concert you went to, something like that.
Man, so I was at this event, and I wasn't exactly hosting, but I was managing the stage, and I got to know that J. Cole is coming, and this was at a mall in Abu Dhabi. So I was quite excited, and I was waiting for like hours and hours. I was sitting on the side of the stage playing some J. Cole tracks for the mall. So people were asking, his management was asking around, like the mall management was asking around, does anyone know any J. Cole tracks? So I just pull out my phone and give it to the management. While all the other kids were playing all the commercial shit, I was playing the actual thing what J. Cole would want people to listen to.
Okay.
Finally, I did find out that J. Cole wouldn't be coming because I was very excited to meet him. I was quite sad that day. Of course, I was quite sad. But then, just last year, I had the opportunity to go to F1, and Kendrick Lamar was supposed to be playing on stage.
Oh, that's crazy.
Kendrick Lamar was supposed to be playing on stage. And Kendrick Lamar's great too, but Kendrick Lamar bailed out for some odd reason, and J. Cole decided to come up. So I got very excited. It was all over Facebook.
That was
Twitter.
F1 last year.
F1 last year, exactly, F1 last year. So I got off the yacht, this yacht party I was at. I started walking towards the venue, took a bus, took a train, took everything. Okay, not train. We walked for about half an hour, and then I got into that venue. And I was at the general stand, and J. Cole came on, and I was literally on top, and the security guard's like, okay, you know what, get down. And I was on there, I was on that thing for 40 minutes because the security guard gave up, and he's like, you know what, I'm not even bothered. But someone from the VIP section saw that, I'm trying really hard to get in. He just came and gave us his bands, and J. Cole was up there, and I was just watching him, and he was just performing.
How close to you?
Well, of course, not as close as this. He was quite close, and he was performing Neighbors, and I was being quite an idiot. I think I cried a little that day.
You cried a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe that's not something you should say on camera, yes.
Sorry. But it's the truth.
For sure. My go? All right. So I guess it's my turn to talk about my best hip-hop experience.
Yeah, man.
So I was born and raised in California, and we have a place in the Bay Area, a city called Oakland, which is almost all of Oakland is a hood. So it's right next to San Francisco, separated by a bridge. And me and my friend had gotten tickets to go see Lil Wayne in Oakland. And shout out Colton. So we drive down from Sacramento to Oakland, and there was 3 things that were amazing about that night. The first is, of course, Wayne's my favorite rapper, so seeing him perform, and this was back when he did the I Am Music tour in like 2008, it was just surreal seeing him. The other funny thing is me and my friend were the only white people in the audience, and I'm talking about a big, big, big stadium. It's called Oracle Arena over in Oakland. It's huge. I mean, they host like big, big ass concerts there. So there was that. And then T-Pain was on that tour. And it was so shocking to me too, because T-Pain came up and he was singing without auto-tune.
Did it sound good?
And I realized T-Pain has the most amazing voice, man. The guy does not need auto-tune at all. It was such a crazy night.
Did he sound like?
He was pretty angelic. It was really, it was not like that, but he sang his songs, but just without auto-tune. It was really, really cool. Now you hear people like, Migos, shout out Migos, we love them, but they use auto-tune through their microphones when they perform on stage. T-Pain has the voice. He just was using auto-tune for because that's what was hot back then. Now, let's talk about this wall for a minute. Our little wall here.
Right.
Who we got up here. So you want to start on your end?
It's sort of incomplete, but this is quite cool. And eventually we're going to have it all the way to the top. So, well, basically from my end, it's Jay-Z, legend, The Game, ultra legend, Chance the Rapper. He's not my favorite, but I listen to him. He's quite cool. The Legend, Album of the Year, Tupac. Second contender for Album of the Year.
Goat.
Possibly not.
Goat.
You want to go on your friend?
We got Birdman here. We know he's not really a rapper, but he's, in the game. One of the biggest businessmen in the game.
Not in the game.
Of course, this crazy mofo right here, who we'll be talking about in the coming weeks, Kanye West.
Who's dropping Yandi? I mean, it's quite controversial because it goes Yandi and then it goes Jesus and everything. I mean, that's...
And that's going to be, we have a whole episode we could talk about Kanye. And then, of course, this is one of my other, he's just in my top 5. That's Young Thug right there. So, yeah, that's our wall as of now. We are missing one very obvious one, and that is Biggie. So we are adding to the wall. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Now, before we go any further, Jake, we want to ask you, favorite rapper and favorite rapper out of everybody on this wall?
Well, guys, I'm going for Kanye just because.
Are you serious?
On my Nokia 330 Bluetoothing from my mate Stronger years and years ago.
Stronger.
That is
Good choice. Good choice.
that reminds me of everything.
So that's your favorite rapper on this wall?
All time, yeah.
Oh, and all time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fair.
If you didn't have a reference of any of these guys, who would you go for?
If you couldn't pick from the wall.
Big Shaq.
Big Shaq.
Does he count?
No, man.
not
He's
exactly.
not a rapper.
Actually, you know what? He does count. That's cool.
Man's not hot.
Yeah, because the thing goes.
Oh my goodness, man. I do know. I'll let you in on a secret. Jake really likes Tyga, and I've been kind of talking trash about Tyga for the past year or so.
T-Raw.
But I will say, Tyga is having one of the best comebacks that I have seen in rap this year. 2018 has been really good for him. Thanks, Jake. That's amazing, man.
T-Raw.
I think Kanye, fair to say, regardless of all the BS, he is a legend.
Yeah, of course
As
he's
a
a legend.
producer, as a rapper. But again, that's for a whole nother episode, I think.
Till Yandi releases, but that's cool.
Yandi also got pushed back again. So
Which was supposed to actually drop with the Carter.
it was supposed to drop same time as Carter 5, which we got right here, my baby, my album of the year. It was supposed to drop same time. Then Kanye said, we're going to delay it a week because we know Wayne's going to come in at number 1.
And that's just mad respect, man. That's just rapper among these guys.
That is
It's
respect.
just so nice to see there's so much camaraderie between all these people, well, except for this guy.
And they've had a good relationship, Wayne and Kanye. But then he decided to push it back again because Kanye went to Africa and decided to record Yandi in Africa, right? You remember that? He gave out a bunch of Yeezys to the kids, and now he's pushed it back yet again. I'll look up the tweet, but it was something about he realized that it just wasn't the best that he could give, and he wants to give it the best. So it's going to be a while before we get Yandi. It's going to be a quick minute here. One thing I want to talk about, just because it's kind of circulating on social media and in the news, and everybody's talking about it. And this guy came to Dubai not long ago. I went. Jake, you didn't go, and neither did you.
Where?
Did you go to see Tekashi?
Nah, man.
All right, well, so Tekashi 6ix9ine came to Dubai, and I went and saw him perform. It was a lit show. It was amazing. But he's been in some really, really crazy trouble lately, right?
He got his house robbed, and then it just started from the bad karma.
Yeah.
Possibly.
Yeah. And he was kidnapped earlier this year.
Yeah?
He was kidnapped
Okay, I didn't know
earlier
about
this
that.
year. Yeah, there was a kidnapping where they pretty much, he was driving, he was about to be home. They caught him in his driveway, tried to take his jewelry, all that, and he escaped from the robbers. Then he says the person that robbed him is somebody on the inside because nobody else knows where he lives. Okay, that was months ago. Fast forward to between then and now, there's been a couple shootings, right? So remember, he's recording a music video with 50 Cent in New York. There's a shooting. He's planning on recording a video with Kanye and Nicki in LA. There's a shooting.
There was a shooting, yeah.
Right? So there was a shooting in LA that just happened. And I'm on kind of a social media detox other than the T-bar. So my girl actually hit me. She texted me. She goes, one of those guys you listen to, there was just a shooting. And it happened to be the place that got shot up the most of this mansion that they rented out for $80 million, by the way, was
Are we talking 80 million a day?
$80 million to rent out the mansion, I would assume.
Could we have some of that cash?
One day. Why are we doing this, man? Let's get our money up.
Exactly.
The Nicki Minaj's dressing room is the room that was that got shot up the most, and she ended up being late, so she wasn't there when the room got shot.
That's just good karma.
That's crazy. So that happened, I want to say about a week and a half ago. And then, so last Saturday, we hear that Tekashi gets picked up by the feds. All right? This was right after he gets on social media and he says, I have fired my entire team. Nobody works for me anymore. I don't have a manager. I don't have booking agents. I don't have none of that. So if anybody is calling you, telling you, hey, do you want a Tekashi concert? Don't believe it. I'm not with anybody.
Why is that so? Why do you think he fired his team?
Well, good question. So next day, he gets onto the Breakfast Club with Charlemagne and Envy and Angela Yee. Shout out Breakfast Club. And he said that basically there were promoters, his promoters, were telling him, all right, listen, you're a risk. People in the States, especially venues in the States, are scared to have you doing concerts because they are scared of your affiliations. They're scared violent things are going to happen, etc. So they told Tekashi, all you're going to make per show is $60,000.
That's a big deal.
And Tekashi has been making already $100,000 per show before this. I would be willing to bet that's what he made when he came to Dubai a couple weeks ago. So they're telling him that. Then they book him a 1-month tour throughout the US. And the venues where he's supposed to perform his first concert at, they call him and they say, where are you? And he says, I'm coming, I'm just a little bit late. But we didn't get the deposit yet.
Ooh, okay.
The venue then says,
we have paid the deposit?
We have paid the deposit of $180,000, which basically means
3 concerts in which he's supposed to perform
15 concerts
15
across the states.
Okay.
Tekashi's supposed to be making $3.6 million off of that, all right? According to his team, he's only getting $300,000. So his own team, according to Tekashi, was hustling him out of over $3 million.
That shit.
So he goes and says this on the Breakfast Club.
Uh-huh.
That night, the feds pick him up. They tell him, your life's in danger. There's people that are looking to, quote, violate you. All right? So they say, we want to put you in protective custody. He says, no thanks. He signs a paper that says, I'm leaving the FBI's protection willingly, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So he leaves. That was on a Saturday. Next day, Sunday, Tekashi and all of his old team get picked up by the feds. And that is where we get to where we are now. There is a major, major case against Tekashi and the people that used to work for him. Now you hear in his songs he yells, Trey Way.
Mm-hmm.
So the feds are saying that Tekashi is associated with a group called the 9 Trey Bloods, a gang in New York. So the first thing that came out was basically that he is involved or was involved in a RICO operation. So if you don't know what RICO is, it's Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act. Basically, when they arrest you on RICO, it's something federal. It's a big deal. FBI, ATF, all of those people get involved. And RICO has to do with people who get arrested on RICO charges are people who are doing organized crime.
Okay.
So the allegations, we're not saying Tekashi did this, the allegations against him and the people that were arrested are that Tekashi himself pulled an armed robbery on April 3rd of this year with his ex-manager and 2 other members of the gang. They also robbed other rival gangs at gunpoint. The indictment also mentions a shooting at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn and has a total of 17 counts of racketeering dating back to 2013.
Whoa.
To top all of this off, the feds are saying that Tekashi and his associates were distributing drugs all over New York City. Weed, heroin, MDMA, all of that stuff. All right? Now, the crazy part is the official papers of this indictment leaked because that's public information. Once somebody's arrested, whether they're a celebrity or not, that becomes public information once they're actually booked into jail. So according to the indictment that's been posted, Tekashi's facing up to 32 years in prison.
But those are not the only reasons.
What you mean?
There's also another one which we haven't spoken about.
Which is?
The video that was leaked, or wasn't leaked, I'm not really sure on that, where he's...
The child case.
Yeah.
All right. So
I know sensitive this is to speak about, but yeah.
That is sensitive to speak about. There was the child case, but he went to court for that early this month in November, and he was facing either 3 years or something, and he was facing a certain prison sentence, or he was going to not be charged on it. He walked away. He didn't go to jail for that. That case was closed.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's just the RICO case. Now, as far as we know, as of this point, Tekashi's lawyer is saying Tekashi 6ix9ine is not a member of this gang. He is an artist, and so he shouts all of this blood stuff and whatever in his music videos and in his songs.
Just to sound cool.
To sound cool and to sell it, right? Now, that could help his case because Tekashi on social media is a troll.
Right.
I mean, he's done nothing but mess with other YG. Was it Ludacris, who he beefed with also, or not? Nick Cannon. He's literally beefed with everybody, and I can't say the things he says on his social media, but he says some really bad stuff, and just trolls people, right?
Do you want to give an example?
Yeah. So when he was beefing with Trippie Redd, he said, "S my D with your mother's," really bad stuff. Also told Trippie Redd that he was gonna roll up Trippie's dead brother's ashes and smoke him. Like he's serious about this whole testing people thing. And the whole thing with Tekashi is, it's been a year that this guy's been out. He's had 10 songs out. Nobody's actually been able to touch him other than the kidnapping, which he claims was somebody from the inside. So, I don't know, man. His lawyer's saying Tekashi has nothing to do with this gang. This RICO case is dating back to 2013. You have him on this one charge of this alleged robbery at gunpoint in April of 2018. So why are you including him in a massive RICO case?
You could just reckon, because he fired his entire group, which used to, literally hustle from him, and then their money's just cut off. Why is it cut off? They would try and get more cash out of him.
Yeah.
You can't fail. I mean, you could just assume that his group is doing it out of a vengeance sort of move.
Could be, but do you also think...
He's 17 years old, as in how
He's
bad...
22. He's 22.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, Tekashi's 22.
Wow.
Lil Pump is 17.
Lil Pump is 17, I'm so
Yeah.
sorry. Yeah, 22.
Yeah. He's 22
That's
now. But
that's quite young.
there's another theory going around saying that Tekashi fired his whole crew because he knew the feds were onto him and he wanted to distance himself from all those people. So best of luck to Tekashi. I think we're going to wrap up on that topic, and of course, we'll give you guys any updates if anything happens to him. Hopefully he doesn't have to spend 3 decades in jail. Want to talk about a couple things that are coming up. So we're just going to wrap up the episode in a minute, but want to first of all say thank you for tuning in to our very first episode of the T-Bar DXB.
And big shout out to American Rag.
Yes, yes, yes. We're keeping
That's
it
where he's keeping
casual.
stuff from,
We're
man.
going to be fresh every episode, but this is it. Chilling. Vibes from my very own living room. Of course, shout out American Rag. I like your Muhammad Ali shirt.
Thanks, man.
Very cool. I don't know why you're hiding it. But yeah, so real quick, this is the last week of November. So next month, December, because it's December, what we're going to do is kind of do some year-end roundups. And next week's episode, one of the things we're going to talk about is hip-hop album of the year. So, like I said, hit us up in the comments or in the DMs on social at the T-Bar DXB. Tell us what your favorite hip-hop album of 2018 was. Another thing is, next month we are going to have a local rapper from the UAE sitting with us and talking about them and their craft and what they do, and you'll get to know them. And that's something we're going to try and be doing like once a month-ish. Yash, anything else before we go?
No, man, that's it.
Alrighty.
I think we're good to go.
Thank you for listening and watching the first episode of the T-Bar.
Goodbye.